Sam Darley here, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about the Houston Rockets. They pushed their winning streak to 12 games, 124-109, beating the San Antonio Spurs. It's their first win against San Antonio, since last year's playoffs, in which San Antonio knocked out the Rockets in 6 games. My initial reaction is the Houston Rockets continue to be amazing. They're a very good team. They've improved defensively. That's going to be huge going into the playoffs. Tonight they shot 53-point attempts. They made just over 20. They shot, Chris Paul and James Harden are working out very well. They're 13-0 with Harden and CP3 on the floor together. And I think Houston, like I said, Houston's a very good team. However, I'm going to say my concerns with Houston is a potential burnout. And this is December. They're hot. But you have to understand that Mike D'Antoni uses a small rotation during the season, typically an 8-9 man rotation, and you get to March, April on the playoffs, and you start thinking about guys tiring out, rotation burning out. I really would like to see the Rockets utilize more of Bobby Brown, Jude Kui. You really go in depth into their bench because, Harden kind of got nicked up at the end of tonight's game, and Chris Paul went to the locker room. I don't know if nothing was reported about an injury, so that's just something to keep an eye on. But Houston's definitely a team to be reckoned with. They can threaten the Golden State Warriors, especially if they knock down the threes. The biggest question mark I have is, can D'Antoni finally beat Greg Popovich in a playoff series? We've seen the song and dance in Phoenix. We saw it last year with the Rockets, obviously a different roster. Team that's got CP3, 2 wing defenders, and Bob Mute is out for 3 weeks. Well, 3 wing defenders, Ariza, Bob Mute is out for 3 weeks, maximum, with a shoulder injury. And then PJ Tucker. So they kind of brought that defensive nastiness to them, and they still shoot threes. They still do what they do offensively. The spacing on the floor is a lot better with Chris Paul. Clint Capella has improved a lot. But when you get into a playoff series, there's a difference between beating somebody once over the course of an 82-game season and beating that same team 4 times in 7 games. And I just don't know if Houston has the coaching and the role players to beat San Antonio 4 times in 7 games. They tried to shop Brian Anderson this offseason to get Carmelo Anthony. It didn't work out. And I don't trust Ryan Anderson. I don't trust Eric Gordon in the playoffs, quite frankly, because they struggled so mightily against Oklahoma City and San Antonio last year's first and second round of the playoffs. So that being said, my initial reaction is the Rockets are really good. They're going to be tested these next couple of weeks over the holidays. We got the Warriors coming in soon. I know tonight they play a good San Antonio team. San Antonio's just getting their rhythm back. They're just trying to, stay healthy, keep the big guns ready for the postseason. Spurs basketball. It's only December. A lot to be excited about in Houston. Can they keep up? Can they keep it up? Can the Rockets prove to be a legit championship contender? That's something they got to show in the second half of the year. I will say they could still get Carmelo Anthony at the trade deadline and it's a big if Oklahoma City keeps waffling. Tonight they went 3 overtimes. They blew a 17-point lead. It's a team that doesn't really have an identity, and Melo doesn't seem like a real fit with the Thunder. He'd fit nicely with D'Antoni's offense. The question is Sam Presti willing to give it up in 1 year? Because I don't know if he's going to be able to resign Melo, to be truthful, and I don't think he's going to be able to sign Paul George long term. So he's got to think about the long term of his franchise. That's Oklahoma City. Houston won their 12th game in a row. They will try to keep this hot streak going while trying to stay healthy. Harden again nicked up his leg at the end of tonight's game. Totally unnecessary because more so on D'Antoni's part, because the game was out of hand. Like, you gotta trust your bench to put that game away. Popovich brought his bench in, and so, again, if D'Antoni can do it, if D'Antoni can beat Popovich in a playoff series, he's going to earn the national respect, and so are the Rockets. So the Rockets aren't taken seriously. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the Rockets are going to try and push their win streak. I don't think the streak is as I don't think the streak is as important as being healthy. Because to me, I think the Rockets are more dangerous as a healthy unit than they are nicked up and banged up. Especially around the holidays, and you got the All-Star break coming up, so you're gonna have some time to get rested and get ready for the stretch run. But we'll see what happens. Great game tonight. Houston 124, San Antonio 109. Houston's won 12 in a row. We'll see how far the streak can go. This is the longest win streak the Houston Rockets have had since they won 22 in a row in 2007 and 2008. And that team, folks, was banged up. I'm not trying to compare the two teams, but I felt like they went for the streak, and it cost them. It obviously cost them Yao Ming. T-Mac was banged. Tracy McGrady was banged up, and River Alston got banged up in that streak too. And they got Bobby Jackson, and the rest is history. They lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Utah Jazz. So we'll just see what happens with the Rockets. Cleveland's also hot. They've won 17 of the last 18. And LeBron's playing at an MVP level, as always. They beat the Lakers last night. So, the Rockets stay hot. Cleveland's hot. Oklahoma City keeps waffling, but again, they're struggling to find their identity. A lot to look around in the NBA. So, we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching. Houston wins 124-109.